A few weeks ago, I got to ride Santos mountain bike park with Phil Kmetz. If you don't know him, he has a YouTube channel very much like mine, except that Phil is actually a professional mountain biker. I decided to pick his brain, and here's what he had to say.
Bikes, and you've ridden a lot of nice bikes, you've ridden bikes in competition, and one of the big questions that I've been getting like crazy is, why do you ride a hardtail? Why don't you get a full suspension? I even had one person comment, hardtails are going to be extinct soon.
I think there's a right bike for the right job. Obviously, if you had unlimited money, you'd have a bike for each individual discipline or type of riding that you do. I would not ride anything else besides a hardtail in a skate park, you know, like a dirt jumper. If you have a lot of trails and it's like you only have a few routes and a lot of twisty like turns, I think hardtails are amazing. Honestly, like sometimes like I like hardtails more than a full suspension because they're dead simple.
So you have a brakeless single speed hardtail that you dirt jump on. Is it fully rigid or you have some shocks
I like shocks on the front.
And they're like pretty stiff, short travel shocks?
Yeah, it's just to absorb the big impacts.
So that is the ultimate in simplicity. You don't have to think about anything. You just grab the bars, pedal, and just have blissful fun without even thinking.
Absolutely. I don't ride that bike as much as my others, so I don't invest as much money into it. And I had brakes on there, but like I hate when they squeak and like they start rubbing. And I found that just taking your brakes off, I'm not saying that's a smart idea because it's kind of stupid, honestly. Like, like riding downtown, like, you know, like in traffic, I don't like doing that with that bike.
I noticed that you came here with flats, I came here with flats, and obviously being clipped in is more efficient. Obviously, if you're trying to get speed, if you're doing endurance, being clipped in hands down is better. But if you like to jump around the way that Phil and I do, when do you decide it's time to put clips on your bike?
That's a good question because like I actually jump back and forth on my trail bike between flats and clips. First of all, I think it's always good to learn on flats before clipless. And if you're riding clipless, I'd highly recommend picking up a set of flats and just learning how to handle your bike on platform pedals.
I agree.
With clipless pedals, you kind of like get used to cheating by picking up your bike with your pedals. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, but there's a better way to do it. And if you learn how to do it with platform pedals, it'll be better once you get back to clipless. Well, I crash a lot, I'll be honest. So just being able to jump off my bike like that.
Yeah, sometimes you can't bail, and people who haven't ever ridden BMX, they don't have that. They don't have the instinct to just chuck the bike, screw it all, and get yourself to safety.
Yeah.
And I found that when I have clips on, I can't do that. And another thing, I got really hurt. I have a clip of it actually.
Really?
I had a GoPro on when it happened. I went off a jump. And I took off really crooked, and I was gonna land crooked. And I was like, okay, I got this. And you make the front wheel straight, and you say, okay, my back is gonna kick out a little bit. But my feet twisted when I hit the ground, and I went boom, and came out of the clips. And I don't know whether I had them too loose or too tight or whatever, but I feel like on flats, I can save a crooked landing. Have you ever had that experience or no?
I can't say I've had that, but I definitely like end up chucking my bike in a lot of situations. So this past winter, I was invited to do an urban downhill race in Colombia. I actually opted to run clips on my downhill bike, which I almost never do.
You were clipped in on that race.
I did. That race I clipped in.
Whoa. That blows my mind.
So
that's crazy.
You know, like I usually like feel safe on flats. In that situation, I felt safe on clips because if my feet wouldn't move around, like I didn't have to think about that, and the turns weren't too bad, so I didn't have to think about like, you know, dropping a foot if I'm sliding out, which was funny enough because I ended up crashing and sliding out my race run, but I wouldn't have done like anything different if I had flats.
So moral of the story, flats and clips are tools that you should learn to use in appropriate situations.
Absolutely.
Kind of more recently, 1x11 has gotten really, really popular. Now you ride in New Hampshire. Do you find any limitations by running 1x11 as opposed to 2 rings up front?
Obviously you have gear, like you're losing some gears, but not enough to really warrant ever going back. Even the like 1x10 system where you still have one single chainring in front, I don't think there's any replacing that unless you're doing road where you really need all the gears.
Where you need to run it at exact cadence.
Yeah, like for the most part, like I mean, I'm not an endurance racer, so it's not that important for me. I'm just out having fun. I love a quiet bike, and just the fact that it's just dead silent, it kind of puts my mind at ease when I'm on a trail.
Less stuff on the bike.
Yeah.
And then, so I guess for a cross-country racer that's really monitoring their cadence, heart rate, and everything like that, it's going to be a little more important.
Yeah, it is, but you're seeing more and more of them jump on the 1x11, 1x10.
I have.
And you know, there's rumored that SRAM's going to be coming out with a 1x12 soon, which...
Yeah, I mean, I was running 1x7 for a little bit, but of course it's just Florida.
Honestly, like, if you're a cross-country racer, I think that makes sense, but for the average person...
Probably not, right?
No, I don't think so.
I could have picked Phil's brain all day, but we had riding to do. To learn more about Phil, check the description for links to his videos. Thanks for riding with me today, and I'll see you next time.
Dude, I'm having a bad day. I went straight down onto my chest.
I thought you saved it pretty good.
I didn't save it at all.
You alright?
Oh, we got ours on tape. That was awesome.